In order to achieve climate neutrality by 2050, we must all play our part in addressing our own impact. This involves measuring our carbon footprint, reducing these as much as possible, and offsetting those that cannot be reduced. I'm joined today by Hettema, the head of sales of Ecologi, a business that have been able to reduce 300,000 tonnes of carbon since their launch just 20 months ago. That's the equivalent of 750 million miles driven in an average car, or 35,000 homes powered by energy in a year. Not a bad achievement at all.
You know that feeling you get when you watch the news and you see oil tankers capsize and these big fires and all that kind of stuff, that feeling in the pit of your stomach? So that's what we're targeting with Ecologi. We're helping you take action. Essentially, it's a subscription service for the planet. By making tree purchases and carbon offsetting easy, you're able to offset your private footprint, but also that of your company. Taking action on the climate emergency essentially consists of two steps. The first step is the carbon footprint analysis. So how big of a footprint do you have? And the second step is how to take action and which projects to support. Carbon offsets are a market-driven product, which means there's lots to choose from, and there's all kinds of questions about how good are these projects run, are the data that they are providing actually correct, etc., etc., etc. And what we've done is we've created a climate committee of 20 professionals, so educators, professionals, consultants, etc. And they verify all of the work that our full-time employees do to find the best possible projects. And for us, a good project is not just Sustainable Development Goal number 13, which is climate action. We try to add a lot of other things as well. We look at how the projects are run, how they do their reporting, what the track record is, the pricing, of course, etc. And yeah, we generally work with organizations such as the Gold Standard, Vera, Pashama. So we're very reliant on processes of, for example, the Gold Standard to make sure that the projects are actually managed properly. The most important thing is that everybody that decides to work with us, all that investment is spent in the best possible way. And that's something that we work on very, very hard. Yeah, so we are in the process of becoming a B Corp. Through that process, everybody's on green energy suppliers, and there's all kinds of research that we've done internally to help with making better choices. Essentially, that's what we all can do. We're a fully remote company. And of course, we're a climate positive workforce. So everybody that works for us has their entire lives offset through our own subscription service. But we also constantly work together on finding ways to make additional impacts on the environment. So essentially, climate offsetting or carbon offsetting your life, so climate compensating your life, is the biggest action that you can take right now, which is good for the environment. So as a UK citizen, your yearly footprint is about 9.2 tons. And we offset about 11 tons for you, and we also plant 144 trees. So, that's a huge impact on the environment. It's very, very positive. But beyond that, you have things such as cycling to work or working from home. Silly things such as putting a lid on the pan when you're cooking. That saves you energy, and those small things do add up. So behavioral change is very intrinsically driven, and it needs to come very much from you. And everybody within the Ecologi team, of course, has this drive because we're in it to hold climate change. So the backstory of Ecologi is that the co-founders figure out that the cost to offset an average UK citizen for a month was the same as a coffee and a croissant at Pret a Manger. If you can spend the money on a coffee and a croissant at Pret a Manger once a month, then you can offset your life. Right now, because carbon offsets are a market-driven product, so the price will continuously go up. So right now it's more like 2 coffees and a croissant. But still, if you're willing to spend that, you can negate your impact. That's huge, right? So I think that's where it started to just empower people. But I think beyond that, our profile pages, they close the loop. They show you what a great impact you're having, and they give you something to share, and they give you something to talk about. And I think that's really important. It's a great product. It's a product that's needed. People are ready to take action on the climate emergency. It's so much easier than anybody thinks to take action on the climate emergency, and we're actually lifting that And beyond that, we have an amazing membership base. And one of our members, Marcus Hemsley, he started a 1,000,000 tree pledge, completely outside of our scope and on his own. And we're helping now, of course, to get as many companies on there as possible. So the 1,000,000 tree pledge is just a place for companies and individuals to say, within 5 years, I'll plant 1,000,000 trees. I'll take this pledge. And 1,000,000 trees that's £120,000, which, you know, for an individual is a lot of money often, but for businesses, it's generally not that much, right? It's actually within reach. About a year ago, we had 150 business-to-business subscribers, and now we have over 4,500. So kind of growth is really exciting, but it's also something that's really challenging. So, you know, making sure that we answer in time and find bottlenecks, and it's more like we're probably going to be hiring a lot of people over a very short amount of time. So the challenges are more about how can we make sure, because we have this really unique team of very driven, very idealistic people, but also very driven, professionally hardcore go-getters, right? Keeping that alive when you're adding new people and stuff like that, that's always challenging. We made a conscious choice not to be a charity, but we're a social enterprise. Our goal for 50% carbon reduction is 2040. So we have to grow really fast. And in order to to do that, we had to attract capital for marketing and hiring, etc. I wasn't a lot involved in the first round, which was a low seed round. I think it went fairly smoothly because the founding idea is such a no-brainer, right? Coffee and a croissant to offset your life. And now we're in our second round, and it's going really well. You know, all of our metrics are looking good. Even in the cutthroat world of investing, caring about the climate is definitely also a part of it. And as far as I know, there aren't a lot of really viable opportunities in the climate space, and that's currently playing to our advantage. But to be honest, we would like more viable opportunities to exist in the climate space. You know, getting funding is always difficult in a way because you're the startup and you're talking to the people with money and you're just wondering if you're going to get any of it. But if you have a clear product market fit, you know, our churn is around 1%. Our quick ratio has been hovering around 12, which is about four times what would make people really excited about a company. So we've got great numbers, and that helps attract capital. But we're not just looking for capital, right? We're looking for capital plus impact. There's a lot of attention there for investing into ventures such as Ecologi. Sometimes when I have a low day, I just go to Trustpilot and I start reading reviews because it's just so great. I think that the difference between us and many others is that we only take a 15% commission on business to consumer transactions and individual transactions, and then a little bit higher on business to business. So it averages out on around 17%. You know, that's less than most charities. So the people really respond to what we're trying to do. They're seeing that we're not in it to buy a bigger car. We're in it to hold climate change. We're hoping to accelerate our growth, which has now been 10x over a year, trying to do that faster. This year is probably going to be a lot of new features, a lot more engagement. And we also will be launching a product that helps you figure out the carbon footprint of your organization, so your scope 1 and 2. So that would solve a big problem, which is the carbon neutral calculation for a business. And yeah, it's going to be the coming year is going to be a lot around product development, growing the team, professionalizing even further, and setting ourselves up. You have to start with having a product market fit in a business that grows. As soon as you make a profit, you can start investing some of that profit into sustainable action. So take a small percentage of your revenues to start offsetting, to start adding trees, but then also make it a part of your marketing message. Because if you are a sustainable business, you're most likely targeting people who care about the environment. People who care about the environment have climate anxiety. Just saying that you're an eco product or just saying that you'll plant trees, I don't think that's enough. I think you have to involve them in a story, pull them in, tell your story about what is it that your business is doing that's making that difference. As a business owner, you have the ability to make a substantially bigger change than any individual can. So make that part of your story. Don't overinvest because you need to make money, but try and make sustainability a part of your story, so that eventually sustainability can become a revenue driver and not a cost center. Because then, once you achieve that, once you are able to make money because you are sustainable, then you can start making really amazing impact. And anybody can do that. I've seen small companies with less than 5 employees do that, and very large organizations as well.